So most of you know, but some of you might not know, my dog Dory, right here, has been diagnosed with a squamous cell carcinoma. And in order to help her through her surgery and through chemo, if she has to do that and everything, we are going to be reading Lily and the Octopus. And if you've read this book before, you know. And if you haven't, get ready to know. Hopefully we're going to get through most of the book without crying, but I know that that's not a possibility, so there will be a lot of cuts. Some of it will be voice only, some of it will be video, and I'm hoping that by the end of it we can string it all together and it will be a full book that people can read to their dogs, with their dogs, and everything else.
So unfortunately we got the CT back, and we went to oncology today, and it's not good. I'm still going to be reading Lily and the Octopus. I don't know if we're going to choose chemo or if we're going to do just palliative care, but it's not looking very good. I lost a couple of videos from my Lily and the Octopus reading already, which is really sad because, you know, it's what I'm kind of doing to try to stay sane. So we're going to start reading it again, and hopefully you guys can stay with us the whole time. So we're reading Lily and the Octopus. Such a good book. I'm going to start out by reading the poem that's in the front. It's a poem by Rudyard Kipling, and the book is dedicated to Lily, his dog. And yeah, there's a poem by Rudyard Kipling as the start, and the start of the book is the law for wolves. Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. And the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk, the law runneth forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. This book is called The Octopus, and we're going to be starting on the very first page. And then it's going to get lighter outside as I continue, and then it'll get sadder again when we continue back with the rest of the book. So without further ado, it's Thursday, the first time I see it. I know that it's Thursday because Thursday nights are the nights my dog Lily and I set aside to talk about boys that we think are cute. She's 12 in actual years, which makes her 84 in dog years, and I'm 42, which is 299 in dog, or 294 in dog years, but like a really young 294 because I'm in pretty good shape, and a lot of people would tell me that I could pass for 238, which is actually 34. I say this about our ages because we're both a little immature and tend to like younger guys. We get into long debates over the Ryans. I'm a Gosling man, whereas she is a Reynolds gal. Even though we can't name a single one of his movies we'd ever watch twice. We dropped Felipe years ago over a disagreement as to how to pronounce his name. Philippe? Also, he just doesn't do much work anymore. Then there's the Matts and the Toms. We go back and forth between Bomer and Damon and Brady and Hardy, depending on what kind of week it's been. And finally, the Bradleys, the Coopers, the Miltons, the latter of whom is technically way older and long dead. And I'm not sure why my dog keeps bringing them up. Other than that she loves board games, which we usually play on Fridays. Anyhow, this particular Thursday, we're discussing the Chris's. Hemsworth, Evans, Pine. It's when Lily suggests offhandedly we also include Chris Pratt. That I noticed the octopus. It's not often you see an octopus up close, let alone in your living room, let alone perched on your dog's head like a birthday hat. So I'm immediately taken aback. I have a good view of it as Lily and I are sitting on opposite sides of the couch, each with a pillow, me sitting Indian style, her perched like the MGM lion. Lily, we don't have to include Chris Pratt, it was just a suggestion, she says. No. What's that on your head? I ask. Two of the octopus's arms hang down on her face like chin straps. Where? What do you mean, where? There, over on your temple on the right side. Lily pauses. She looks at me for a moment, our eyes locked on each other. She breaks my gaze, only to glance upward at the octopus. Oh. That. She's kind of waking up from the CT scan, so we're trying to get some reading in while she's sleeping. I think it's good to read to her, I think. So, yes, that. I immediately lean in and grab her snout the way I used to when she was a pup and would bark too much, so excited by the very existence of each new thing encountered that she'd sing with enthusiasm with sharp staccato notes. Look at this. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's great. It's a great time to be alive. Once when we first lived together and the time it took me to shower, she managed to relocate all of my size 13 shoes to the top of the staircase 3 rooms away. When I asked her why, her reply was pure conviction. These things you put on your feet should be closer to the stairs. So full of ambulance and ideas. I pull her closer to me and turn her head to the side so I can get a good long look. She gives me the most side-eye she can muster in annoyance, disgusted with both my molestation and unwanted attention. And my gouchness as a big stupid human man. The octopus has a good grip and clings tightly over her eye. Takes me a minute, but I gather my nerve and poke it. It's harder than I would have imagined, less like a water balloon, more like bone. It feels subcutaneous. Yet there it is, out in the open for all to see. I count its arms, turning Lily's head around to the back, and sure enough, there are 8. The octopus looks angry as much as out of place. Aggressive, perhaps, is a better word. Like it is announcing itself and would like the room. I'm not going to lie. It's as frightening as it is confounding. I saw a video somewhere, sometime, of an octopus that could camouflage itself so perfectly along the ocean floor that when it was completely undetectable, until some unfortunate whelk crab or snail came along and it emerged, striking with deadly precision. I remember going back and watching the video again and again, trying to locate the octopus in hiding. After countless viewings, I could acknowledge its presence, sense its energy, its lurking, its intent to pounce, even if I couldn't entirely make out its form. Once you'd seen it, you really couldn't unsee it, even as you remained impressed with its ability to hide so perfectly in plain sight. This is like that. Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it, and the octopus transforms Lily's entire face. A face that has always been so handsome to me, a noble, classic dog profile, betrayed only slightly by a dachshund's ridiculous body. Still, that face, perfect in its symmetry. When you pulled her ears back, it was like a small bowling pin covered in the softest mahogany fur. But now she looks less like a bowling pin in shape and more like a worn-down bowling pin in occupation. Her head sports a lump as if it had actually been the number 1 pin in a 10-pin formation. Lily snorts at me twice with flared nostrils, and I realize I'm still holding her snout. I let go of her, knowing she's seething from the indignity of it all. I don't want to talk about it, she says, tucking her head and to gnaw an itch at her stomach. Well, I do want to talk about it. Mostly I want to talk about how it could be possible that I'd never seen it before. How it could be responsible for every aspect of her daily life, well-being, food, water, exercise, toys, chews, inside, outside, medication, elimination, entertainment, snuggling, affection, love, and not notice that one side of her head sports an octopus. Alarmingly increasing in its size, the octopus is a master of disguise, I remind myself. Its intent is to stay hidden. But even as I say this silently in my head, I wonder why I'm letting myself so easily off the hook. Does it hurt?
There's a sigh and an exhale. When Lily was younger in her sleep, she would make a similar noise, usually right before her legs would start racing. The preamble to a beautiful dream about chasing squirrels or birds or pounding the warm sand on an endless golden beach. I don't know why, but I think of Ethan Hawke answering the standard question inspired by Bernard Pivot that ended every episode of Inside the Actor's Studio. What sound or noise do you love? Puppies sighing, Ethan had said. Yes, such a wonderful juxtaposition, sighing puppies, as if warm, sleeping puppies felt anything lamentable or had weariness or exasperations to sigh over. And yet they sighed all the same. Exhalations of sweet, innocent breath, but this sigh is different, subtle. To the untrained ear, it might not be noticeable, but I know Lily as well as I think it's possible to know any other living thing, so I notice it. There's a heaviness to it. A creakiness. There are cares in her world. There is weight on her shoulders. I ask her again, does it hurt? Her answer comes slowly after a great long pause and consideration. Sometimes. The very best thing about dogs is how they just know when you need them the most, and they'll drop everything they're doing to sit with you for a while. I don't need to press Lily any further. I can do what she has done for me countless of times through heartbreak and illness, depression, and days of general uneasiness and malaise. I can sit with her quietly, our bodies touching just enough to generate warmth, to share the vibrating energy of all living things until our breathing slows and falls into the parallel rhythm it always does on our quietest of sits.